Hello, it's Tristan here from Zebra Invest, and today I'm showing you the quickest and easiest ways to find property investment deals, hands down. So there's two platforms that I use to do this, and they are Property Data and Property Filter. And I want to show them both side by side so you can get the idea of which one's for you or whether you should be using, like I do, use both. And the idea is both of them kind of bring in Rightmove, Zoopla on the market all into one place. So then that way, rather than kind of scrolling through endlessly to try and find the one little needle in the haystack, you can just click straight in and find the deal that's going to work for you. And you can see when you look back through any of my videos, I've done a series on property data and a series on property filter. One of them talking about rent, some of them talking about rent to rent, some of them talking about how you can find flips, how you got buy, refurbish, refinance, properties you can turn from 1 bedrooms to 2 bedrooms, how I've used the pound per square foot, so how big a property is, to work out which one is the cheapest on the market and going to be the best deal. And I've also done videos, if you do want to go back through and see whether I know my stuff, where I've actually found properties on here, gone off, bought them, agreed them, and done the deals, and how I've used the software to do that. So what I want to do is jump in and look at both of them. I'm going to do this initially, open up the screen, show you both side by side, and then I'm going to jump in and then quickly show you both of them working so you can see how you might want to find your own deals, which platform works for you. And personally, I use both, and I'll show you why I use both as well. So here we go. Let's jump in and show you what I've got open. So here we go. On the left, we've got Property Data. Property Data is a cheaper platform. It starts anything from about £14 a month, and you can just get going with that. So if you want to understand how it works, but you don't want the big price tag, you can then jump in there. It limits how many searches you're going to be able to do, how much you're going to be able to find, but it does go all the way up to a unlimited strip max plan, which is what I use. And with it, I really like Property Data because when you go onto a website like Zoopla, you can jump in, look at a property. I'm going to just show you, and it brings up a nice little plugin that's got a whole load of information all about any deals that are in your area. So it allows you to quickly analyze and understand how much a property is actually worth rather than just scrolling through. So you should now see that on the right-hand side, all that information will just load up. It's going to tell me roughly how much a 2-bedroom bungalow is worth, how much the pound per square foot, what it will rent out for, demand in the area, and any other background information like that. And that's really good when you're jumping in and deep diving through properties. So if you are just on Rightmove, Zoopla on the market yourself, you can easily work out what that property is worth. Whereas on the flip side, when you're using something like Property Filter, log straight in here so you can see what's going on here. And when you're looking at on a property in here, I'm going to show you the 1 beds to 2 beds in Norwich. Instead, you are going to see the deal inside the platform rather than on Rightmove, Zoopla on the market. And here it's quite good because it's going to give you the history of a property, the background of it, how it's performed, whether it's been off market, if it's had a sale agreed, if it's been withdrawn. And then you can then see the history of a property, which agent it might have passed through and where it has gone. So it gives you really good detail to help you understand why a property is in the market, what's happened to it, and why they might be motivated to go and sell it to you. So why would you want to use either of them? Well, Property Data is a fantastic tool for just jumping in there and being able to work out your own property and your local area and how it's performing. So when I log in here, you can see I've already got my own areas kind of set up, saved and running. So you can just click straight into Norwich to go see what's going on in the area, and also you can source and find properties that are on the market for sale in that area. So I'm hoping here, I was going to click source on market in this area, and then you can just kind of filter through and look through reasons why people might be motivated or want to sell the property. Typically, I tend to quite like stuff where they've got maybe price reduced, because it means that they actively want to sell that property and they're trying to move it on. And what you can also do here is you can add to that, you can do something where, for example, it's chain free. So you know that person is more motivated, they're not living in the property, and they're going to want to move out of that property quite quickly. For example, like this property here, just clicking this one on the right, that could be quite a good little deal. Some of these have been on the market quite some time as well, but it just means it's quite easy to kind of jump in, look at them and see what's going on. So for example, I've just jumped into this property by looks on Portland Street. It says the average area is selling for £340, £6 per square foot. The 3 beds in the area are worth 283,000. But you can just jump in, see the comparables. All right, what are other properties selling for in the area? How much are they selling for per square foot? What are they selling for in the area? And then it's giving you a little bit of an insight there, so you can jump in. And it's also showing you, so you can have a look around the area and see how much properties are actually renting for. But the thing is, you can see with this property, you've got the actual history of it. So you can see it's been on for 300, it's dropped to 280. It's had a landslide of a drop down here to 220. So a bit like Property Filter, it's giving you this information, but rather than being in the platform, you're going out to Zoopla, Rightmove, or On the Market to be able to find it. By intersecting those, you can then whittle down to find some of the motivated sellers. So I quite like that side of it. The other side of it that I like is here. It gives you a bit of feedback, an idea about how the local property market is going, what properties might be worth in your area, what you should be paying for them. You can compare what things are actually asking prices versus what they're actually selling for. And the other thing you can do as well is look at the pound per square foot. So I mentioned this kind of way is a great way of identifying and finding properties, because you can simply click anything on the far left-hand side. There's going to be a property where it's sitting below the average pound per square foot. The average in the market is 300. So anything on the left-hand side is going to be a property that's just a little bit cheaper. So here we go. We've got a property here, Constitution Hill, Terrace House, and it looks like quite a big property from here. From that photo on the front, it looks rather small, but from here it looks pretty big. But it does actually have a garage, and it might be that if you're doing, say, like an HMO strategy, you convert the front of this garage into one room, the one in the back, and then you could actually end up maybe with 5, say, bedrooms in there. But it's just an interesting way to look at it. The other side here with Linford Drive, this looks like quite a large property. It's quite eccentric things, but 268 square meters. And in the area, the average is £364 per square foot. So this looks like it is quite a large undervalued property. So if you look at the floor plan, yeah, we can see here it's a huge property. We've got at least 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got 4 decent sized bedrooms. So you might be able to rearrange it to kind of buy it a bit below the usual average, then be able to refinance it in future. So that's one of the main bits I like using that. But the other bit is, like, for example, here, you can sit in here and you can also do the plot maps. So if you're ever looking to try and identify and find properties that are off market, or do background research and due diligence about a property in your area, or you found a plot of land and you think, oh, that could be a neat little opportunity, then you can jump into it, take a look through, find any details about conservation areas, planning, or anything else around that for yourself. But then when you go over to Property Filter, it's a very different kettle of fish here. So it's a property where it's literally focused on trying to find the deals and the opportunities that you're looking for. So when you go to Leads Generator here, you can set up areas to specifically target and find opportunities and investments in your certain area. So whether you're looking for lease options, you can see Norwich lease options I've got there. Whether you're looking for example, I set it up for a friend of mine, so you could set up to try and find properties in Ipswich. And if you're looking to do, say, properties where you turn them from 1 bedrooms to 2 bedrooms, you could do that. And it's quite good because you're literally trying to filter through and whittle down to identify those properties. So let's jump in and show you how properties come up on the leads for buy, refurbish, refinance. So the main thing it does, it tries to focus on reasons and combining reasons people are motivated and want to sell. So if you think about it, if someone's motivated to sell, the property's back on the market, they've reduced the price, they're just trying to get rid of it. So this is exactly what this has done here. It's saying, look, this is back on the market. It's been back on the market for 103 days. It's been reduced by 4%. It's not really that big a reduction. But you're going to be able to look through and see anyone who is just slowly getting peed off and wants to get rid of it. I usually try to steer as well, as you can tell by the price per square meter. And here is giving you the price per square meter in the area. So if we know it's a little bit lower than the average, then the chances are we're going to be able to get a decent deal. So say, for example, we look at Ketts Hill is quite a busy road. I know that one myself. But say, for example, we're looking at Crown Road here. Usually bungalows are quite in demand. And you can see this kit you've got here. It's been on the market for 280. They had a sale agreed by the looks of things. That's fallen through. And then just before Christmas, they've reduced the price again to try and get it out. It's in Cossey, which is actually quite a nice area for families to move into. And bungalows do tend to sell quite well up there. And you can see here, it's just a 2-bedroom bungalow. But it's a slightly bit of an odd-shaped space. It probably could do with a bit of a rearrange internally. And if it is anywhere near that size, it's a whopping great building at 148 square meters. But I've got a feeling it's not going to be quite that big because the garage there. But that could, again, is pointing out reasons why someone's motivated, and it's trying to look at stuff where you can turn it into a different property. But if you decide you don't want something, you can then say never show again, hide it, go back to the property list, take a look for other reasons that people might be motivating and want to sell the property. If you ever do want to set up a new kind of search, it's a little bit more tricky than if you're jumping into property data. You jump in here and then you select the areas you want to add to it, rather than kind of just putting in your postcode. You go to the next stage. You can then use a strategy. So rather than looking for everything, you're just looking for a specific property. So you could turn and say, look, I only want to have short lease flats. And then we can turn and say, just call it a name. So the idea is each time you're going in, it's going to be working for you to kind of find and identify these properties for you. But unfortunately, we don't have, we've got a few just coming up here. And then you can jump in and whittle down through those ones. So you can see this one here has been on the market for quite some time. It's had a sale fall through. When you come down, what's quite good with this is it also tells you how long the lease is and any information about it. You can also get a bit of feedback for the idea of what properties are worth in the area. And that really kind of helps you crack on from there. So look, enough waffling from me. The reason I've looked at these two property systems and used Property Data and Property Toolkit is to literally save time. And as I said at the beginning, it's the quickest way to be able to whittle down and find a property, because once you've got the hang of using the software, you jump straight in, and that's going to be kicking out and showing you fresh deals, fresh properties all the time. I use two different platforms because, as you can see with Property Filter, it's great for whittling it down just into one specific type of opportunity. So if you are looking for buy, refurbish, refinance, that's a great way to go. Whereas if you're using Property Data, it's a great platform for finding all opportunities in the area, but you have to work out what type of deal you're looking for. But it's great because it's really easy to work out what property is going to be worth at the end and then go from there. So why on earth have you shown both of these to me, Tristan? Well, there is a little bit of a hidden agenda to all this. I've got links for both of them, and I can give you a discount for both of them. Both of them have got a 14-day free trial. So if you want to get in, try either which ones, get yourself going, work out which piece of kit is best for you. You can do that. Both of them have got discount codes. If you want to go over to Property Data, which is the one I've been using for the longest, you can use the discount code ZEB, and that'll give you 50% off your first month. And the same, if you go over to Property Filter, you can use the discount code Tristan50, and then that'll give you 50% off your first month. So in both cases, that's effectively going to give you a month for free, because you've got your 14-day free trial, half the month's free, and so you're only paying a little bit for, well, the next month really, aren't you? So if you want to jump into either of those, I'm going to drop the links in the below. If you've got any comments, questions about each of the software, pop them in below, and hopefully I can help you out. Well, cheers for watching. Hopefully I haven't spoken too fast, and if I have, you can slow me down by doing it down, or you speed me up if you want to go the other way. Anyway, thank you very much. Have a great day, and hopefully you like this video and subscribe to my channel. Cheers.